The pursuit of positive experiences can paradoxically lead to negative feelings, while acceptance of inevitable difficulties can open the way to true satisfaction. This phenomenon deserves deep reflection. When one sets ambitious goals for oneself, be it career advancement or significant life achievements, one is inevitably faced with the need to put in a lot of effort. However, as practice shows, the more energy and resources invested in achieving the desired, the more distant the goal may seem. And instead of the expected satisfaction, often comes a sense of dissatisfaction. Imagine a situation where someone is working with full dedication to achieve their dreams. But the paradox is that as one gets closer to the intended peak, the realization of the gap between the current situation and the desired point grows, and it is this discrepancy that generates a gamut of negative emotions. These feelings can seriously undermine self-confidence and negatively affect the overall health. It is no coincidence that the wise words of Epicurus say, "If you want to become rich, do not increase your wealth, but moderate your desires." This idea is reflected in the law of reversal, which states that the stronger a person strives for something, the more likely it is that he will get the opposite result or face a deterioration of his emotional state. This video raises an interesting topic about how the law of backsliding has the potential to flip the way we think about putting forth effort and achieving our goals. At first glance, this idea may seem contradictory, as we are taught from childhood that hard work and perseverance are the key to success and well-being. However, the law of reciprocation points out an important point. There is a limit to the amount of effort that is reasonable to put in to achieve what you want. Sometimes, to get what we want, it is not necessary to increase the pace, but, on the contrary, to step back and let circumstances take their course. The key lies in maintaining balance. Understanding when overzealousness is working against us can be the starting point to true success and harmony in life. After all, it is often the case that in order to get what we want, we need to stop striving too hard for it and trust the natural flow of life. The law of reversal is a kind of paradox of effort. This concept became widespread thanks to the works of Alan Watts, a famous English writer, theologian, and orator who played an important role in popularizing Eastern philosophical teachings such as Buddhism and Advaita Vedanta in the Western world. His writings were a catalyst for the convergence of Eastern and Western worldviews, opening up uncharted horizons of self-knowledge and spiritual harmony for Westerners. His insights and his talent for awakening in his readers' deep reflections on life's path and its purpose have earned him widespread fame. One of the cornerstones of his philosophical endeavors was the law of reciprocal effort. Although the roots of this law go back centuries to the wisdom of the Tao Te Ching and Zen Buddhism, it was he who made great efforts to popularize it in the Western world, skillfully adapting ancient truths for modern perception. He expressed the essence of this law in the following aphorism: "The stronger your desire to hold on to something, the faster it slips away from you." This idea challenges the commonly accepted principle that titanic effort is required to achieve success. The law of backward effort is directly related to how one allocates one's energy and directs one's aspirations. Often, just by abandoning desperate attempts to achieve a goal, a person will suddenly find that what he or she wants is coming his or her way. The concept of the inverse law invites us to rethink the traditional approach to goal setting, calling for a search not only for external achievements, but also for inner satisfaction and meaning. As Watts rightly observes, we often fail to recognize the true motives for our aspirations because they can be difficult to articulate. This statement emphasizes that the inverse law does not provide clear instructions on what to focus on. Rather, it directs us to delve deeper into the nature of our desires. It encourages us to scrutinize our goals and aspirations, asking ourselves what really drives us and what we really want. It encourages us to look inward, to our deepest aspirations, to reach a clearer understanding of our true needs. The law of reversal encourages us to reflect on our reasons for pursuing certain things, what outcomes we expect to achieve, and how these relate to our fundamental values and beliefs. This process of self-exploration helps to identify the contradictions between surface desires and underlying needs, thereby contributing to more informed decision-making and a more fulfilling life. The pursuit of happiness, success, and love is often presented to us as a path that requires tireless effort and a clear commitment to our goals. However, this approach does not always lead to the desired results. Moreover, in the pursuit of these ideals, we may encounter unexpected and not always pleasant consequences. Often, the obsessive pursuit of happiness, expressed in the constant search for and achievement of more and more new goals, can turn against ourselves. This contradicts the widespread belief that happiness is a direct consequence of the fulfillment of our desires and the achievement of our goals. In fact, such a race for ephemeral happiness can lead to a paradoxical decrease in life satisfaction. A person who is constantly striving for something more often misses the joy of the present moment, while it is the ability to appreciate the current moment that is often the key to true happiness. Ironically, happiness often comes to us not when we actively seek it, but when we allow ourselves to be happy without regard to external circumstances. In addition to this, anxious states often arise from our desire for total control over our surroundings. People often seek to subjugate circumstances, their own emotions, and those around them, not realizing that their influence over the outside world is actually quite limited. This behavior of total control only exacerbates anxiety and worry, as we are constantly confronted with the fact that not everything is within our control. However, when one realizes one's own limits and is able to let go of situations, true self-acceptance comes, and one approaches a state of mental harmony. In addition, paradoxically, the pursuit of material well-being can turn into a sense of poverty, independent of the actual amount of money. The more a person is fixated on the idea of enrichment, the more pronounced the feeling of insufficiency can become, because there will always be something that is not there yet. This internal contradiction only increases dissatisfaction and leads to increased stress. True wealth does not come as a result of a desperate race for money, but when one learns to appreciate what one already has and gains a sense of contentment with the present moment. When the focus of attention shifts from actively seeking a romantic relationship to deeply exploring one's own inner world, it creates a fertile ground for love to come naturally into one's life. Understanding one's true values and needs allows for a clearer understanding of what form of love will be most appropriate and harmonious. Instead of desperately chasing love, one learns to attract it, becoming more aware and confident of one's own desires. The love that emerges from this path of self-discovery is usually characterized by depth and relevance to one's inner needs. The German philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer believed that the irrepressible desire for more, caused by the desire to satisfy one's needs, is inherently a manifestation of irrationality. In his view, human beings, like all living things in the universe, are an expression of the will to live, a powerful force that drives the pursuit of satisfaction through various achievements. This will is a powerful, yet irrational and aimless driving force, which, according to the philosopher, is the root source of all human suffering. Schopenhauer believed that the constant desire to have more than is necessary gives rise to an insatiable sense of insufficiency that cannot be fully satisfied. This state of affairs inevitably leads to a constant sense of dissatisfaction and anxiety. Arthur Schopenhauer, the famous philosopher, argued that the only way out of this vicious circle of suffering is to renounce the will, which he regarded as the defining force of human existence. The human mind tends to experience a sense of scarcity when it perceives the present as inferior, prompting the individual to seek relief in the future, in circumstances that he or she believes will bring greater happiness and fulfillment. However, having achieved the desired goals, the individual often finds that their emotional state remains the same. This is a vicious circle, and it is impossible to get out of it in this way. Schopenhauer believed that any passionate pleasure is a mistake and an illusion, as none of the realized desires can give lasting and true satisfaction. It is merely a play of faith and imagination. When using the law of backward effort, it is sometimes useful to refer to affirmations, but here it is important to keep in mind that they should be in line with your inner beliefs. For example, if a person repeatedly repeats the phrase, "I am a millionaire," without believing it on a deep level, such affirmations will not bring the desired result. When a person is confronted with new beliefs, his consciousness often resists, as if defending itself against alien ideas. As a result, the new knowledge never takes root in the subconscious mind, which negates all efforts to change thinking. The true path to success lies not in fixating on the end goal, but in deep immersion in the process itself, which step by step brings us closer to the desired result. Instead of daydreaming about the ultimate triumph, you need to carefully structure your actions, turning each step into a purposeful movement towards the goal. Let's imagine, for example, that the ambitious task is to attract more customers to your business. In this case, every website created, every click on an advertisement, every phone call or inquiry from a potential client should be perceived as an important brick in the foundation of overall success. By focusing on these small but significant achievements, we gradually reprogram our subconscious mind, setting it on a wave of growth and prosperity, rather than fear of failure and lack of resources. The effective interaction between desires and imagination plays a critical role in achieving the best results. However, focusing too much solely on the end goal can paradoxically slow progress. By constantly mentally returning to the finish line, a person risks losing sight of the entire chain of actions needed to achieve it, and stops using the power of his or her imagination to visualize each step of the way. In striving for something that is missing in life, the key is the ability of the imagination to reinforce the conviction that the goal is achievable. The difference between a superficial desire and a deep confidence in its realization is crucial to the effective use of the law of reciprocal effort. A harmonious combination of desire and imagination should be sought. Certainly, zeal and persistence in achieving goals are worthy of respect, but lack of faith or inability to visualize the desired result can significantly slow down progress. In fact, in order to achieve a positive outcome, it is necessary that a person not only imagines his goals, but also sincerely believes in their feasibility. In doing so, one must pay attention to one's subconscious mind. As Napoleon Hill astutely pointed out, the subconscious mind works continuously while one is awake. Joseph Murphy gives an illustrative example that demonstrates how our beliefs shape our actions. Imagine having to walk across a wooden plank lying on the ground. For most people, this would not be difficult because falling off the board would not have serious consequences. Imagine a situation. A person easily walks across an ordinary plank lying on the floor. His desire to perform this action is supported by the conviction of success. His imagination paints a picture of successful completion, and everything happens casually and smoothly. However, when the same board is lifted to a dizzying height of 20 meters between two buildings, everything changes dramatically. The risk involved changes the perception of the task. While the desire to walk the plank may remain, the imagination immediately begins to paint pictures of falling and failure. At this point, desire clashes with imagination, creating internal obstacles and uncertainty. This is a clear illustration of how our subconscious attitudes and visualization influence our thoughts and actions. The Buddha called for present moment awareness, reminding us not to wallow in regrets about the past and worries about the future. It is important to strive for harmony between desire and imagination, synchronizing the conscious and subconscious mind. It is this approach that can lead to success in achieving your goals. The art of managing anxiety and achieving a state of flow lies in knowing how to deal with anticipation anxiety. This type of anxiety arises when we are faced with something new and uncertain, when we do not have a clear idea of how to act under the circumstances. Such experiences, unfortunately, have become commonplace for many people. Often, anxiety is accompanied by obvious physiological manifestations, such as increased sweating, tremors of the limbs, or rapid heartbeat, which only adds fuel to the fire. Emotionally, anxiety can manifest itself as a flood of negative thoughts, feelings of overwhelming fear, self-doubt, or low self-esteem, thus adding to the mental turmoil. In anticipation of a challenging task, we often seek to control literally every aspect of our lives, but this approach is not always successful. Fortunately, there are effective strategies that can help you manage the anxiety of waiting and improve your overall mental well-being. These strategies include mindfulness practices, cognitive behavioral therapy, and various relaxation techniques. Mastering these methods allows you to shift your attention from total control to trust in the natural course of events, opening new horizons for personal growth and development. In order to achieve harmony between conscious and subconscious choices, it is necessary to rethink one's attitude to the difficulties that arise. Instead of seeing problems and obstacles as a threat, you should learn to see them as valuable opportunities for self-improvement and gaining new experience. This transformation in the way we think creates a fertile ground for intuitive insights and deep subconscious processes to influence our actions. Gradually, over time, we gain the ability to make decisions based on the subconscious mind, resulting in a more organic and intuitive process. A good example of this phenomenon is learning to drive a car. At first, driving can seem like a daunting and even stressful task that requires extreme concentration and significant effort. However, with more practice, our brains adapt to these repetitive actions, and over time, the process of driving becomes automated. It is for this reason that many drivers can casually carry on conversations, hum their favorite tunes, or even do several things at once while behind the wheel. However, despite this, it is crucial to remain alert and attentive to the traffic situation. A similar mechanism is triggered when we allow ourselves to fall into a state known as flow. The flow state is characterized by the fact that our actions are performed with ease and effortlessness, as if our body and mind are functioning automatically, just as a musician blends in with the melody or a dancer blends in with the rhythm of movement. The state of flow allows us to act with maximum efficiency and minimum energy expenditure. This phenomenon is often observed in individuals who are deeply immersed in intellectual or physical activity, whether they are creative individuals, like artists, or masters of strategic thinking, like chess players, or professionals climbing mountains. Excessive conscious effort can upset the delicate balance, preventing one from sinking into a state of flow where one is fully focused on the present moment. Excessive rumination and self-abuse erect mental barriers in the mind, creating doubts about the rightness of actions and blocking the natural, instinctive flow of the process. In fact, excessive immersion in one's own thoughts can disrupt the natural flow of actions necessary to achieve a state of flow. Therefore, relinquishing excessive conscious control becomes an important step toward immersion in this state. In such a state, conscious intention serves as a guiding force without interfering with automatic, intuitive processes, allowing for maximum productivity and satisfaction. In conclusion, let us remember the philosophical saying of the Stoic Seneca: "True happiness lies in the ability to enjoy the present without being anxiously dependent on the future." These reflections persistently remind us of the paramount importance of living each moment, of the gift of finding joy in the current time. After all, as practice shows, the harder we try to hold on to something, the faster it slips away from us, turning our efforts into a source of tension and dissatisfaction. When we finally find the ability to let go of circumstances and stop maniacally controlling every aspect of our existence, we have the chance to fully immerse ourselves in the present. This presence in the moment frees up resources that we can devote to what is truly important and meaningful to us. The quality of our interactions with the people we care about noticeably increases, and the body and mind feel more rested and focused. Living in the present moment is a kind of art that requires close attention to our thoughts, actions, and the world around us. Developed mindfulness helps us gain a deeper understanding of our strengths and weaknesses, see opportunities for personal growth, and make better informed decisions that shape our future. This process of self-discovery and inner work allows us to shape a more balanced and purposeful life, where every action we take is in alignment with our deepest values and aspirations. When a person cultivates awareness and purposefulness in their daily life, they open themselves up to the possibility of gradually but surely transforming the reality around them, filling it with depth and meaning. The true key to experiencing happiness and inner harmony lies in the ability to appreciate simple things, to let go of control over situations, trusting the natural course of events, and to find genuine joy in every moment we live. It is as if we, like an artist, step by step create a picture of our life, where every stroke is a conscious choice, every detail is a manifestation of our inner essence. In this approach to life, there is no room for vanity and the pursuit of illusory goals. Instead, we learn to embrace the present in its entirety, to find beauty in the ordinary, and to build a foundation for true well-being.